Film fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh, your movie apprentice, and today I'm going to be looking at Australian horror creature feature flick Blackwater Abyss. Directed by Andrew Traiuki and starring Jessica McName, Luke Mitchell, and this film follows 5 cave searchers exploring an uncharted cave, but thanks to a storm, they end up trapped in this cave with a scary little crocodile. Before I get into the review, if you like what I do on this channel, consider clicking the like button and hitting the subscribe button as well. It would really help a lot. Again, been very thankful for all the support over the recent few weeks. But without further ado, let's get into this, shall we? So first and foremost, I will talk about what this film does well, and that is the claustrophobic nature of this. I do love a good cave setting. The Descent is one of my favourite films of all time, not even just in the horror genre, just in all time. It's a very well made movie, and this one gives you that same sort of vibe. It's very claustrophobic. The water itself acts as its own sort of antagonist to these characters. They spend most of this film either on a ledge looking at this massive pool of water or crawling through tight little air pockets. It is a very nice setting and it's really well executed. I also have to say I did like the characters in this as well. At the start there's like a little party scene that's told mainly through photographs, and generally it didn't really feel like I got enough time to get to know the characters. But once we got into the cave, I well and truly got to like these characters. I was actually gutted when a couple of characters do get picked off, and that is the first key thing for any sort of creature feature. Are the characters just bags of meat that are there to be killed, or are they characters that we're actually going to care about? Now, while I may not like certain subplots that do crop up towards the ends of the film, I do like each of these characters and individuals. I don't think any single one of them is a terrible person. Usually you get these horror movies where there's always the one arsehole there. This one tries to give you that, but you kind of understand that individual. I will have to say though, the actual crocodile itself is so inconsistent. There are times where the CG on this croc is so bad. There's a couple of nice shots where it's swimming through the water, where it seems to be an animatronic that looks quite nice. Where it's just in the water and floating, it blends in quite well together. But when it comes out of the water, it is very inconsistent. There's times where it's killing people underwater that it looks seamless, but whenever this crocodile is above water, it doesn't look good in the slightest. I can't rip the film too much because obviously it's got a lot lower budget than many of the films we're used to in America and Britain, but it is one of those where you have shown me some good shots of this crocodile, and it would be nice to see a bit more of that. It didn't really give me any sort of fear when the crocodile showed up, because whenever he did show up, he didn't look the greatest. And I will say as well that this film could have ended a good 10 minutes earlier than what it did. It is quite a short film. It's only an hour and a half long, but it feels like they should have just stretched out the party scene at the start to help us get to know those characters more before we get into the cave, and less on the ending. Because there's a part where you feel like the film, right, this is where it ends, this is where it cuts to credits, maybe we get a bit of aftermath. But no, they have to throw us in this one last little bit to pay off a MacGuffin that's set up earlier in the film. And while I appreciate they set up these items, they want to pay them off, they do acknowledge the MacGuffin several times throughout the film. So the fact it doesn't come into play would be more of a subversion of expectations as opposed to wasting the MacGuffin. It is a good final combat scene, but it just doesn't feel like it has to be there. I feel like it was there for the sake of being there. I will say as well, the cinematography at times is a little bit all over the place. It feels very studenty at times, the camera angles, from the low angles to the high angles, where it comes to combat between the humans and the croc. It all doesn't gel together perfectly. There are some times when the claustrophobia works, but there are other times where the cameras are just all over the place and it is very inconsistent. That's the keyword I'm going to use here, is inconsistent. And if I had to have one last flaw with this movie, I will say that character deaths sort of come out of convenience. They always seem to come through circumstances that just feel they're there because it's a movie. We have to have a reason for this to happen, which is a crying shame. I won't dive into how these characters get picked off, but I don't think at any point did it feel like a natural way for this death to occur. It always felt like something that was out of the ordinary had to happen for an actual death to occur, which was unfortunately a crying shame for me. Overall, Blackwater Abyss, it wasn't a scary horror movie, it wasn't the greatest creature feature I've ever seen, and as we get into the Halloween season, it's nice to get back into these sort of horror sort of genre films, but I will say there was a lot of improvements that could have been made with this. I have never seen the original, and this film bears no connection to the original, and I feel like I need to watch the original, because apparently the original is very well received. This one, however, it just felt like a boring afterwards sequel. It's not quite as bad as another creature feature sequel from last year called 47 Meters Down Uncaged, but it isn't that great either. So overall, I'm going to say that Blackwater Abyss is just a lukewarm cup of tea. So Blackwater Abyss, have you seen it? If you have, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Again, if you like what I do on this channel, click the like button and consider subscribing to boost the numbers up. The support this year has been immense. It's that time of year, baby. It's spooky season. But until then, my name is Josh. I've been your Movie Apprentice. And happy Halloween, everyone. Hey, thank you for watching and thank you for making it to the end of the video. While you are here, if you haven't done it yet, please feel free to drop a like and consider hitting that subscribe button for more reviews coming all the time. And also, while you are here, there are some other videos over there that you might want to sink your teeth into. Have a good day, guys, and do enjoy.